Welcome everybody to another installment of Top to Bottom. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the new album from Brockhampton named Ginger. I've been listening to this project for the last few days, pretty much ever since it came out, and at first it was a little bit rough, but it did sort of grow on me, and you guys know how this series goes. We take the worst songs to the best songs, we put them out in a list in my own opinion, and then at the end, I give you guys my rating on what I thought of the overall project. This project is filled with 12 tracks running at 44 minutes in total, no skits whatsoever. It's just track after track. So without further ado, let's get into it. At the number 12 spot, we have Big Boy. This is my least favorite track on the album just because, oh my god, I mean, the chorus on this thing just completely ruins it for me. It just sounds really terrible with the "Big boy, you're a big boy now. Big boy, you're a big boy now." I really don't like it. Also, the auto-tune at some points in this song sounds fucking terrible. It's complete garbage. I mean, every single song after this is at least listenable to me, but when I was listening to this project in hopes to make this review, this video, this top to bottom episode, yeah, every single time this came up, I had to skip it because it's unlistenable. It's the only song in this album that I would say is purely unlistenable and just flat out garbage, has no positive attributes whatsoever. In the number 11 spot, we have Saint Percy. I think it's Saint Percy. Saint Perky. I don't think it's Saint Perky because that doesn't sound right. Not a fan of this track either. The instrumental is terrible in my opinion. It sounds like farts. Throughout the song, there are also these annoying A's in the background that don't really rub me the right way. And for the performances on this song, out of all the members who were on it, I'm not a fan of anybody's performance except Bareface, who just completely blows everybody else out of the water on this. To me, he's the only redeeming quality from this track, and while it's fire, it doesn't help that I have to wait till the very end to hear his part. In the number 10 spot, I have Victor Roberts. Victor Roberts is who I believe to be a new member of Brockhampton, a new vocalist in the group. And while a lot of people were excited to see Brockhampton take on a new member, unfortunately this song doesn't really give me the best first impression of him. While absolutely I can tell that his delivery is passionate, I'm just not impressed with his performance on the song. I just simply didn't get much entertainment from him on this project, and all I can say is that I hope he does better in the future. I am still going to be curious as to what he'll provide in future Brockhampton projects, or maybe he'll come out with a solo record or something like that, but based off of first impressions, hearing him for the first time on this, I wasn't too blown away. The chorus isn't really anything special for me on this song either. However, Bareface does provide a very nice bridge in the last leg of the song. In the number 9 spot, I'm going to be putting down Love Me for Life. Again, not really a huge fan of this song. Kevin's verse is really underwhelming. It sounds very boring to me. Joba sounds annoying as fuck. His flow is just not good. I'm just saying that if I were to listen to this song over and over again, Joba's part would just get really ear-screeching over time. However, he does switch up his delivery in the last 3 lines on his verse, and all I can say is that I wish he had done that for his entire verse because it sounded way better. In terms of the instrumental, I'm not a huge fan, but Merlin absolutely kills the last verse and makes the instrumental a lot better due to his energy. And overall, to wrap up this song, there is a nice refrain by Bareface provided at the end of the song. In the number 8 spot, I'm going to throw in I've Been Born Again. Kevin starts off with the first verse, and all I can say is, I've been bored again. I mean, I don't know what it is with Kevin on this project, but it seems like the majority of the time, I just can't get anything from him. Again, his verse just sounds uninteresting to me, and also throughout the song, there are these A's in the background that are reused. We saw the same A's in the background on Saint Percy, and now we're seeing them again on this track, and I don't know, I'm just not a big fan. Merlin's part is pretty good though. Dom unfortunately suffers from the same issue that I get with Kevin, and it doesn't really do anything for me. It's just kind of boring, kind of underwhelming, and Joba's part is good in the last verse of the song, but it's too short. It didn't last long enough. And as I said earlier, even though the A's are put in the background, one thing I can say about the instrumental is that it is one of the nicer instrumentals that pops up on the project. It is quite nice and kind of eerie in a sense, and yeah, I like it. In the 7th spot, I'm going to be placing Ginger, and this is a decent track. The instrumental sounds like something that could come straight out of, I don't know, Little Big Planet. It's not exactly too bad, but overall, the track kind of sounds like filler to me. Unfortunately, again, I don't like Kevin's verse. It just sounds lazy to me. It sounds uninspired. I don't know what it is about Kevin on this album, but it seems like he has a lot more misses than hits, and it's unfortunate because Kevin is one of my favorite, if not my favorite member on the group, and I don't know, it's just he's really not sticking with me this album. Matt's verse on this track is really good, but then after that follows Bareface, and his verse with repeat listens. I find that I enjoyed this verse a lot when I first listened to the project, but with repeat listens, it just gets really annoying. In the number 6 spot, I have Heaven Belongs to You. This song kind of feels a little bit like a filler, however, it isn't too long, which is actually in the song's favor. We actually get Slow Tie on this song, and unfortunately, I don't find them very interesting. However, the beat on this song is very nice. If I just have it on in the background, it is enjoyable. The beat is really creepy and eerie, and I like the way it sounds. In the number 5 spot, I have If You Pray Right. The instrumental on this thing is just fucking great. There are these horns that play that just sound so groovy. It also switches in between these horns and this really creepy atmosphere, and they just complement each other so fucking well. Also, I'm glad to say that everybody's performance on this song is fucking solid. The only gripe I have with it is that the song kind of changes up a little bit towards the end, and I'm just not a fan of it. I think it's a little bit too much of a change of pace, and once that part actually comes up, which it's not like a huge majority of the song, it's just at the very end, but once it comes up, I do skip it. I'm on to the next track. In the number 4 spot, we have No Halo. This is definitely one of Brockhampton's most commercially accessible songs they've ever put out. There are some very nice guitar chords throughout the entire track. The performances from everybody on this track are really fucking good, and overall, the entire song is really catchy and emotional, especially with the chorus. I have nothing bad to say about it. I really like this track. In the number 3 spot, we have Sugar, and even though this is so high up on my list, for some reason I don't have very much to say about it besides the fact that it's a sweet song, bar the pun please. The song just sounds beautiful and it's got a very catchy hook. In the number 2 spot we have Boy Bye, and this song is fucking great. For one, it features one of the most unique instrumentals I have ever heard. Dom's and Matt's verses are really good, and Bareface surprisingly fits into this track. Even though I feel like he doesn't match the energy of the instrumental, he still works really well, but easily the best verse on this entire track is Kevin. He just takes the cake and just blows everybody out of the water on this track. I just love Kevin's verse so much on this track. I mean, I wish he provided more of this on other tracks that he was involved with. Yeah, you guys probably didn't expect me to say something positive about Kevin, but holy fuck, he just really blew my mind with his performance on this track. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have Dearly Departed. Oh my god, this song is just incredible. For some reason, it didn't catch on to me the first few times I heard it, but every single time I listen to it now, I just get goosebumps. This song is just fantastic. In fact, I would go as far as to say that it is one of Brockhampton's best songs ever. In this song, it kind of brings up the topic of Amir, who was a member that was kicked out of the group. I don't remember if it was 1 year ago or 2 years ago, but yeah, that was a really big deal, and that sort of put the group in danger. And a lot of people were left wondering where Brockhampton going to go, because Amir Van was considered one of the most impactful members of the group. This whole song just comes off as everybody just dropping the weight off of their shoulders and venting in a track, and they do it in such a fantastic way. The vibe of this song is just chilling. It has this just destroyed vibe, like they're just helpless, just wondering what to do next, and I just can't help but feel that everybody's been there. Everybody's been at one point in their lives where they just feel like everything is crumbling around them, and that's the exact vibe I get from this song, and it is fantastic. And what complements this so much is the chorus. Oh my god, just a mind-blowing chorus on this thing, especially with the just bombastic "Why?" Kevin provides a fantastic verse on this track, so does Matt, but in my opinion, Dom takes the cake, especially at the end of the song where he just yells, "I don't want to hear, motherfucker," following by him dropping the mic. I mean, oh my fucking god, it's so good. Joba handles the chorus on this thing with him going, I try, followed by the passionate, "Why?" that I tried to like pull off earlier in this video. I'm trying to be very passionate about this song because oh my god, it is just mind-blowing. It's so fucking good. And on that note, that is the entire album, and I know I just talked so highly about Dearly Departed, but ultimately, what do I think about this project as a whole? I'm kind of indifferent to it. I mean, this album has some pretty fantastic moments. However, I can't help but feel that some of Brockhampton's worst songs pop up on this thing. Honestly, I would say that it's obviously worse than the Saturation series. I mean, that was where they were really at their peak and they were performing really fucking well. But also, I got less from this album than I did with Iridescence, which is really saying a lot because at the time that Iridescence came out, it was considered their worst project if you exclude All American Trash or something like that. I believe that's what that project was called. If we were to exclude All American Trash, in my opinion, this is Brockhampton's worst project, which is really hard for me to say because I'm not like the biggest Brockhampton fan in the world, but I do like a good portion of their music. I can definitely tell that all of the members are extremely talented, but unfortunately, I was really left going out of this album thinking to myself, there were a lot of misses and a lot of hits, and unfortunately, I don't think it's some of their strongest work yet. Unfortunately, overall, I was kind of underwhelmed by this project, and I felt like there was a lot that could have been improved and really could have came out better. On one end, I think they have some fantastic tracks, but on the other end, they also have some of the worst songs I've ever heard them make, which ultimately, for the sake of this video, leaves me off by scoring the overall album at a 5 out of 10. I really wanted to bump it up to a 6, but actually going through this video and looking back over my notes and counting up the songs that I really enjoyed versus the songs that I really didn't, I mean, it just makes sense. The very first song that I could actually say that I liked and that I would listen to is Heaven Belongs to You. And that's at the 6th spot. That's 6 out of 12. That's a 5 out of 10 to me. I mean, that's half of the songs that are just not good to me. When I actually come here and make the video and listen to these songs in detail, paying attention to what they have to offer, ultimately it leaves me a little bit more disappointed than I initially thought. I'm pretty much going to leave it at that. I'm really hoping that Brockhampton come out with a better project in the future. I think this is their weakest one so far, and don't get me wrong, they've got some fantastic songs, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, it didn't really stick with me all that much. You can already tell I don't really know what much else to say at this point. I guess I'm just gonna wrap this video up here. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you smack the like button. If you want to stay up to date on my content, please be sure to subscribe. I'll have my last video in the corner. If you haven't checked that out already, definitely make sure to check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.